So what's going on, guys? DIY Dan here again, and today we're going to be replacing the screen material in this door. My sister's got some big dogs and one of them jumped up and pushed right through it, and also bent the screen protector that we're going to bend back and put back into place. This is a very cheap and easy DIY project, so let's get to it. So real quick, we'll go over the tools and supplies needed to do this project. I used my drill to take apart the door handles and the guard that was on the screen. You need a pair of dikes to cut your liner material. You need a razor to cut the screen material after you install it. You could also use a screwdriver to do this if you needed to take the door apart. You're also going to need to get these spline tools. Now, depending on the screen door you have, they do make the spline material in different widths. So the first screen I did, I had to use this one, a little bit wider, and then I had a screen that took a smaller diameter spline, so I had to get this tool as well. But these are only about 10 bucks a piece at Lowe's or Home Depot. The splining material comes in 3 different widths depending on what door you have. I had my sister coming over and I decided to go ahead and get all 3 because I didn't know what one she needed, but we were able to reuse what was in her door because it was not that old of a door. A lot of the times when you take the spline material out of older screen doors, it is just too brittle and will crack apart and will not be reusable. So to get your actual screen material, you just want to measure the width and height of your door. So this measures 36 inches, so I bought a 36 by 84 inch screen material, which was less than $15 at Lowe's or Home Depot. So I did not decide to do a video on this until we had already taken the old screen out of the one we're fixing. But it's a pretty simple process. There's 2 screws you'll have to take out of the handle here. If you have any guards or anything, if they're on the side that has this little rubber insert, you'll have to take those off as well. If this was the screen we were doing, I would not have to do that because it's on the other side. And then you need to find at one of the corners, there should be a cut piece of rubber, and basically you can take that out with a little pick or a screwdriver and then just pull that rubber out, and that will remove the old screen. So before opening it, I made sure the screen material was wide enough for the door. Then we flipped the screen material over so it would not try and roll back up as soon as we let go of it. So we were able to reuse the rubber spline material on the new screen because the door that it came out of was not that old. So what you want to do is make sure your screen is evenly placed over the door. Then start the spline material at one corner, using the tool to push it down into the groove. When transitioning around the corners, I used a screwdriver to help push the spline material tightly into the corners. The first 2 sides will not be that critical. On the 3rd and 4th side, you'll want to pull just a little bit of tension on the screen material as you push the spline material down into the groove. And that will make sure the screen pulls nice and tight into the door. I ran the spline tool down lightly the first time and then went over it and pushed harder into the groove to pull the screen tight. This is probably the 4th screen I've done, and now they only take me about 15 minutes to do. If for whatever reason the screen is not tight after doing this, you can always pull the rubber piece back out, pull a little bit more tension on the screen, and use the spline tool to push the rubber material back into the groove to tighten it up a little bit more. Then use your dikes or a pair of cutters to cut the remaining spline material off that was left over. And then I used a screwdriver to push that material, the end of the material, down into the groove. I went ahead and took my spline tool and went around one more time just to make sure I've got the screen material nice and tight. So even if you're doing a screen door for the first time, this is less than $30 to repair your screen door material, as long as your frame's in good shape. After going around that one more time, then you're going to want to grab a nice sharp razor. The easiest way is to run the razor right on top of the metal groove along the door frame to cut the excess material off. Then I went ahead and put the door handle back on and screwed it into place. The reason I'm using my drill and not my impact driver is because I can set the torque so I did not strip out the screws. So to do the repair on the screen protector, I wedged a screwdriver into the bottom rail and twisted it to open up the rail a little bit. Then I went ahead and took the mesh material and got it back into the lower rail of the screen protector. Once we got that all done, I set it on a block of wood and used a rubber mallet to collapse the bottom rail of the screen protector. Then using the original screws, we re-anchored the screen protector onto the door frame. So hopefully this video helped you out, guys, and hope to see you next time. Have a good one. Later.